gaps in SDG 3, 4, 5. And then I want to share about the initiatives by Wild Malaysia, like education and intervention programs that we have been doing, advocacy works that we have been conducting through campaigns, and how do we really localize these SDGs, and of course the measurement of efficacy. And section 3 will be way forward, to foster inclusiveness, awareness initiatives through partnerships and some measurable goals. So let me just move on. Okay, so here's the main challenge that all of us have to localize the sustainable development goals, right? So what we actually been seeing is now that with the pandemic, all the works, advocacy works that's been upheld by all the leaders before us, just like us activists, has been reversed by the pandemic. And when we look at the situation, for example, when we refer to SDG 3, for example, we have been noticing that, from those 500,000 people from M40 who fell into B40, they have been struggling a great deal of mental health issues. So when we looked at this, right, I have a statistic to share. So when we looked at this situation here, when we dig deeper, these are the cases that we have been handling actively during the pandemic. So if you can see the numbers, it will speak for itself. When we were actually talking to these girls from marginalized communities, especially 13 to 30, when we are looking at these cases, right, look at this online sexual harassment cases, for example. The cases just been escalating so much, and it's been crippling and trapping the girls in gender inequality issues. So this is where we come in to tell the girls it's okay, and we want to hinder these kind of obstacles from their path in the first place. Because without achieving the equality, because we have girls from the marginalized communities, about 100 of them with us, we are very, in infancy stage. So we are a national level functioning in Penang and in Kuala Lumpur as well. So we have been looking at this girls' situation. It's been really heartbreaking of what they have been going through, especially with those sexual harassment cases by their own family members and some friends as well. So what did we do, right? In every SDG that I've been highlighting just now, SDG 3, 4, and 5, we have been really calling them out to speak up about it, because mental health is still very much a taboo, and all of us been in, some sort of a breakdown in this pandemic. So we wanted these girls to come forward to speak with us. We conducted some mental health forums for these girls to come and voice out their issues with us. And then we did a lot of trainings on body shaming, to stop bullying and how they can bring the difference to the table. The girls that I'm talking about to you guys, they are really, really from the rural areas, and they have no whatsoever access to, get this kind of educational or strength capacity building development or anything. So we go to them, we reach out to them and bring them to actually share with the world what they're actually facing. So this is for SDG 4. And as for SDG 5, right, this is the best part, because we have now educated more than 100 girls since July to September 2021 on sexual grooming, gender-based violence in Malaysia, and how to make this report by themselves. Because all this while we did not have a platform, and now in Malaysia we have monsters among us who came up with this Lapo Predator chatbot. So after the inception of this program, we managed to actually resolve more than 10 online sexual harassment cases, severe cases I'm talking about. So these are very important, and this has actually, has brought these girls to a sense of awakening, I would say. So we conducted this leadership and empowerment bootcamp for them in 2020. Actually, despite the pandemic, we still managed to do this program for them. And 100 girls were trained in every main pillar of SDG, which is social, economic, and environment. And we have this 2 years of handhold programs to create leaders to embark on mentor-mentee journey. So we don't just leave them halfway. When we say sustainable development programs, we take them along with us to the next level, right? So it's called as our flagship program, which is #WildGrow campaign to spread awareness through SDG advocacy works. So I'm very proud today to say that from nowhere, right, these girls had zero exposure to the outer world, and today they are independently running so many programs along with us. For example, this program, we just did it like last month. This was Teenagers Engagement in Environment and Nature. It's called the Teen Project. It's a virtual symposium, and we do a lot of forums and programs for them. And I want them to come forward as leaders not like we are taking the back seat, the leaders are taking the back seat, and allowing them to actually go out there and spread the message. Since SDG 5 is central in achieving all other goals, right? So we want to really pay close attention in shaping our young women. And here I'm talking about measuring the progress towards the sustainable development goals, because every program that we do, we are measuring the impact, the efficacy. So how much girls have achieved and what are the gaps they have that with, where we still have to educate them on so many things. So this is a baby step that we have taken and we are very proud of it. And as Rosella just now said, it's like the voice matters the most. So we give them the platform to speak up. And I would like to end it with this quote: when we empower a boy, right, he will enable the entire family progress. But when we empower a girl, the entire nation will prosper. So I think this is very true when girls come forward. So if you guys want to actually get in touch with us or get to know our works, more of our whatever that we have done in the last 2 years plus, so please reach out to us via our Instagram or FB, and we'll be very happy to work together with so many other leaders out here. And we want to also empower our girls. And some of them are also volunteers in today's summit. So we are very happy to bring them to the platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ganeson, for your previous insightful sharing. And let's see if we have a question in the chat box. And yeah, actually, I do compose one question to you. So, Ms. Ganeson, in what way and to what extent do you think that the SDG should be acknowledged by you?
Okay, first of all, that's where I'm coming to tell that, see, when there is gender inequality in place, it's a matter of bread and butter. They can't focus on anything else. So we need to actually remove the needle first, in order for them to actually come forward to know what is SDG in the first place. Because when we go to the rural areas, and even when I go give talks at some universities, I ask the students what is SDG, they don't even know. So to my surprise, and this is where we stand as leaders, we give them the awareness needed first, and then include them, because we are talking about inclusivity here. So I don't want this partiality where we just go to the rural areas or the main areas. So we have to go to all the schools if we can. So that's what we are doing with the road shows that we have conducted. Yeah, and it's about localizing again.
Okay, thank you so much for answering. And we have another questions from Erin. So she asked, hello, Ms. Salinee, for issues like Ain happen again, could I know how your organization could provide support to the particular goal?
Of course, this is a very good question, actually. When this issue, was like bursting the media and all that, what our girls asked me, Miss, you said you have to voice out, but when we voice out, this is what's happening, So I asked them to stay loud. We really want them to stay loud, because I am so happy to personally see how far Ain has gone today, right? She's speaking at the UN table. So this is what we want. We ask our girls to speak out louder, stay loud. That's my message. So we also provide them with the equipping them with the workshops, whereby they don't know certain things like sexual grooming, they don't know about rape jokes, so they have zero knowledge there. And I want all this to be implemented as policies, and that's why we are pushing for our sexual harassment bill to be passed, so that we have a dedicated sexual harassment act in place to help us all